Hello, 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 stamping friends and family. Thank you for joining me on this Thursday evening. Ignore the fact that my opening banner said Wing It Wednesday. I was supposed to come to you live yesterday, but life happens, you guys. I apologize, but I'm here with you tonight. I am Caron Bailey, your independent demonstrator from Stampin' Up. My four-legged babies apparently are trying to check up on me. I don't know if you heard their little clipping out back there. But again, this is Caron, your independent demonstrator in Austin, Texas, better known or also known as the ATX Stampin' Lady. And tonight, you guys, I have lots to unpack for you. But first, let me welcome you to my channel. Let me welcome you to this video. I know that you have so many other places and other things that you could be doing tonight, and the fact that you are choosing to spend any amount of time with me tonight is a blessing, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the time that you are sharing with me. So if you are a new viewer, thank you, welcome. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like what we create and what we're making tonight. And also, if you're a returning subscriber, you guys, let's dig in. Let's have some fun. Now, something new for me, typically by the time I'm done with my announcements, we're about 7 to 10 minutes in. So if you are watching the replay and you want to bypass all of the introductions and the highs and the hellos, skip to about anywhere between 7 to 10 minutes in, and then you can join us for all of the fun. So as always, we do try to get rid of or get all of the announcements up front, so that we can concentrate on creating and crafting. So let's get on with the promotions. Okay, so hold a moment. All right, so on the 11th of September, you guys, a new Paper Pumpkin kit went live. And if you're not familiar with the Paper Pumpkin is a monthly subscription item, and every month you get a card kit, or not a card kit, but you get a box that has certain items that you can create projects in. This month, the Paper Pumpkin kit is called Home for the Holidays. And this kit includes all the supplies you need to create 8 sparkly and dazzling Christmas cards, for each of 2 designs, and coordinating envelopes. There's also a coordinating photopolymer stamp set. And you'll get a real red stamping spot. Ooh, a bottle of glitter glue. That's new for us, at least as far as I'm aware. And then Christmassy themed pre-cut, die-cut elements. So this kit will coordinate with Balmy Blue, Blueberry Bushel, Cherry Cobbler, Crumb Cake, Crushed Curry, Daffodil Delight, Lemon, and Real Red. So if you are not a current Paper Pumpkin subscriber and you would love to subscribe, I'd love to get your hands on this kit. Check out the subscription information on the graphic. It's https://tinyurl.com to P as in Paul 8 W as in whiskey, P Paul, E Edwards. Ooh, I think that's WW. Oh, Lord, I can't even tell my own writing. How is that for fun? All right, so the next thing we have is these specialty papers. You guys, on the 6th of September, we Stampin' Up debuted a special release of designer series papers that you can find only in the online exclusive sections of the store. So I just got those, and I meant to do an unboxing for you. So I'm going to quickly, and this is going to take a little bit of time, but I'm going to run through these papers really quickly. So just give me a little grace as I share them with you, okay? So the first we're going to start with, this one is the, hold on, let me get the camera where you need to see it. So the first one I'm going to show you, this one is called Delightful Floral. Now, if you've seen the new catalog, excuse me, I have to sneeze. Excuse me. If you've seen the new catalog, this floral image should look very familiar. This designer series paper, it's a 12 by 12 pack, and it coordinates beautifully with the translucent floral bundle that's in the September to December mini catalog. So let me just share with you what the card pieces look like. And I've already arranged them in here so you'll see the front and the back side of each, okay? So here's the front and here's the back, print number 1 and 2. Isn't this absolutely gorgeous? I love it. I think it's one of my favorites in the pack. Oh my gosh, I can't remember it. I can't remember the name of the green. But again, this is one of my favorites in the pack. There were 5 new releases, and I'm going to share with you 4 of them. I didn't get the other one because I already had some gold and glitter. Actually, I am going to get it because the new one is adhesive backed, whereas these ones, the ones I have currently, are not adhesive backed. So this one was the Delightful Floral. It's from a 12 by 12 card pack, and this is $12.50, the same price as all of our designer series, most of our designer series papers. This next one, this is also cute. This is also a favorite of mine. And these ones are the tartan foil from a 12 by 12 pack. And so we've got the copper clay. Oh, I might need to, let me turn this. Can you see the color better? Can you see it better? So this is a copper clay. This is Pebbled Path. And I think this one is Lost Lagoon. Okay? So you get 2 sheets of each on this one. And this is $10. The next one I'm going to share with you really quickly is called Traditions of St. Nick. Oh, this one's pretty cool. We have one of the sweets in the catalog is called, I didn't have my catalog out, but that one I believe is called Old St. Nick. So this paper will coordinate beautifully with that. So here we go. I love this. And you guys, if you have a die cutting machine, like a scan and cut, you can set your machine to die cut this stuff out, you guys, and use these as individual images. And if you don't want to do that, then of course you can always fussy cut them. The neutral, more neutral tone print, that's gorgeous as well. Okay, so here we have a little bit of whimsy on this one. We have some gingerbread cookies, some spirit. We have a little old time post. I love these colors, you guys. Real red I'm seeing in here. Definitely a little bit of old olive. We got some holly leaves. And we have some stockings. Okay. Traditions of St. Nick. This is a 12 by 12 pack. And this is also $12.50 in the new catalog. Excuse me. Actually, in the online exclusives, because that's where it's at, in the online exclusives. And last but not least, this is called Shining Christmas. You guys, this is kind of, as you can see from there, there's a, this is like a foily type of, it's like a, I don't even know what to call it. It's not shimmer. It's kind of like a foil kind of paper on one side and more normal texture on the other, okay? So here's the front and back of one print. Here's the next. The next. And I'm going through them really quickly, so if you're wanting more information about them, please reach out to me and I'll definitely do another video if you think I need to do one for you. I love the argyle pattern and print, the berries, and the candy canes. All right, so those are all the new papers that's currently in the online exclusive, that were added to the online exclusives on the 6th of January, 6th of September. I have one more card pack to show you, one more sample. So this is from the, oh my gosh, Stampin' Up does a make a difference choice every year, and what that is we have selected, Stampin' Up has selected a charity. In the US it is Toys for Tots, and what will happen is that the proceeds, $3 from every pack of this designer series paper, and it's called, oh Lord, I wrote it down and can't remember all. I'm gonna put it in the comments because I don't remember what it is. But $3 from the purchase of this. Gosh, now it's really gonna bother me, you guys. I'll figure it out and I will let you know throughout the course, okay? So anyway, so here's the prints. So again, $3 in the US, $3 of every print, of every purchase will be donated to the Toys for Tots organization here in the US. These are more muted matte types of cardstock. Okay, again, these are fun prints, winter, not necessarily Christmas, but winter themed. Okay, got a little bit of balmy blue going on in here. And here we have the rest of the card pack. So I hope you enjoyed the preview of the of the Making a Difference item product, and I hope you will support. Again, $3 from every purchase of one of this paper pack will be given to the Toys for Tot organization in the United States. All right, so let's get back and finish up our promotions. That was a special release. And then the last thing we're going to share with you is the, the last thing I'm going to share with you is the World Card Making Day event. Well, actually, I have one more thing to share with you, but we'll take those as we go. So on the World Card Making Day event, it is on the 7th of October. It is going to be an event where Stampin' Up has a completely free virtual event for demonstrators and customers alike. Your registration is anytime between now and the 7th of October. It is a completely free event, and it will take place from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Time. So for those of us here in Texas, it'll be 3 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I hope you will join me on that day and definitely have a chance to create 3 awesome cards. One of the projects that one of the bundles that's going to be used is this new Heartfelt Hexagon set. This is not in the, sorry, I had to take a drink. My throat was drying. It is not in the current catalog, but it is available to you online, and it is one of the kits or one of the bundles that will be used for creating on the World Card Making Day. The other ones are Circle Sayings and Earthen Elegance are the 2 bundles that will be used on that day. All right, you guys, I think we are, oh, I forgot to tell you. Christmas Everywhere kit, that is the last kit, the current kit of the month. When you purchase this kit everywhere, you guys, how else can you get 9 Christmas cards done in no time at all? You buy a kit. So with this kit, you can create 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with envelopes, and you can make at least 9 cards that you can send to your friends and family to let them know that you're thinking about them at Christmas time. All right, I think with all of that, you guys, one last thing for you guys. Any of the products that you see that I'm demonstrating or using for you tonight that you're interested in getting, please don't hesitate to shop on my online store, and remember to use the host code for orders of $149 or less. You guys, if you shop with me this month, I always do a gift with purchase for any qualifying order, and a qualifying order is any order that's $35 or more in my online store. And for this month, you will get a card kit. I always give a card. I started giving a card kit as a thank you for shopping on my website. Whew, that's a lot. So now, let's get ready to party. All right. Do you guys love stencils? I love stencils. I have a shoebox full, literally a shoebox full of stencils. I just love them. And so I have Stampin' Up stencils. I have stencils from other companies. And just to name a few, here you have a few. These are the most current ones from the catalog. 4 square decorative masks. This was the Abundant Beauty mask from the September to December mini catalog. And I got some older ones, you guys. So I don't know which one I'm going to play with, so I went and grabbed a couple of them. If I wanted to make some Christmas cards, I found this other stash of 3 cards, 3 stencils that I just might use. I'm not sure. So I wanted to make sure that I had options, and so that's exactly what I did. I gave myself some options. All right, so let's get ready to rock and roll. What is the purpose of tonight? Have you ever gotten to the place, even though Stampin' Up has gorgeous, and I mean gorgeous, designer series paper, have you ever gotten to a project and be like, man, I don't know which one I want to do. I don't know what paper I want to use. And sometimes you can just create your own. And it's simple as some stamps, some ink, and some paper to create cards. So what are we going to need tonight? And I'm going to start just from the very basic, okay? So I'm going to grab a silicone mat. Except for this first project, you guys, all of the cardstock I'm going to use, I pre-cut to 6x6. Why did I cut my cardstock to 6x6? Well, I'll tell you. I cut them to 6x6. That way, when I'm done with the panel, if I cut it to normal A2 size card front, that means I'll have about 2 inches, because normal panel is 4 by 5.25, right? So I should have at least a 2-inch strip that's available that if I wanted to, I could use it for something else, or I could just use this to decorate my envelope. So what I try to do is make sure that I start from a 6x6 and then I have options within what I need to do. Now you always have options if you work on a piece of 4x4, but you don't have as many. So for this very first one, I'm just going to grab a piece of basic white cardstock. And this one is going to be it's going to be a full quarter panel, which is 4.25 by 5.5. And I'm going to use, for this one, we don't need our staycation at all. So what I'm going to do with this one is just share with you some simple basic things that you can do for backgrounds, right? So I'm thinking, okay, gosh, I want a sunset. Well, sunset is sunset, right? So when I'm thinking sunset, the colors that come to mind are like Calypso corally in that yellow, maybe some crushed curry, a little bit of purple. For purple, I would probably go maybe fresh Freesia Highland Heather-ish, somewhere in there. So I'm just gonna go grab those colors, okay? And I don't want you to see me leaving, so I'm just going to hide my camera for just a minute. All right, and grab those colors. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of Calypso coral. I'm gonna grab a little bit of crushed curry. And I wanna have like a little, I think maybe Highland Heather. All right. All right. So when I think of sunsets, so one of the tips that I'm going to share with you for blending is some of the tools that you're going to need. Obviously, you're going to need your inks, right? You're also going to need some sort of a tool for blending. And I'm going to share with you a couple of tools, right? So, and I've gone through so many iterations of tools and I use them all. Sometimes I have a preference, just sometimes things are better. So a while ago when I first started, I went to classes with Lydia Fiedler, and this was one of the the major things that was going around, these brushes. So I still have these brushes for blending, but I use them judiciously. It's not that I don't like them. I do like them. I just think sometimes it leaves a little bit of a streak for me. So you'll find that as you get to use them, and I might use them throughout the course of this video just so you can see the difference in what the end results, end products are. Then you also have the option of using things such as blending brushes. Okay, these are blending brushes. This one's not Stampin' Up, but I do have Stampin' Up blending brushes. I love these. So there's another option for you. I used this in the other evening, and these are actually if you go to Amazon, these are eyelash shampoo brushes, but they're perfect for getting into smaller areas. So again, you kind of have to play with what it is you're wanting to do, and how you're wanting to achieve that look. And then I just got this one. I think this is so cute, but it's similar to the brush. At least the head is similar to the blending brushes. It's just a little bit of a different format, okay? And it comes with this cute little cover. This is not a Stampin' Up! Products, as you can surely see. And I just got this from that competitor, but I just might try it tonight. I'm not sure. So anyway, we're just going to do a very basic panel tonight. And let me grab my brushes. I know I'm looking for, and a tip for you guys for tonight, you guys, label your brushes, okay? When I say label them, if you're going to do yellows, have something that lets you know that this is a yellow brush. Now, all of the blending items, you can wash them with regular soap and water. You can, you can wash them with soap and water. This is my purple brush. That's my yellow brush. And this is my orange brush. Okay. So this first one we're going to do, we are not going to do any, we're not going to do any stencils at all. So I think my crushed curry is lighter. So that's the color I'm going to work with first. And I have my silicone mat here just to protect my surface. And tips with blending, okay? Tips with blending is to always start light, with light pressure, light even pressure. And then I tend to generally use circular motions, okay? So then you start, and typically you'll start off panel so that you don't have that huge, that huge area that you can see. Yep, this is where she started, right? And I know I'm trying to go for a sunset type thing going on here. So this is why I'm starting and I'm setting my little horizon line here. Don't forget to join me tonight. Just let me know where you're joining me from, where you're watching from. And then let me know if you do a lot of blending or ink blending in your future. Now, inks might play a big part as well in your ink blending journey. Okay, the inks. A lot of people prefer or like the Tim Holtz Distress and Distress Oxide inks for their blending. I have some and I may try to use some, but I'm not knowledgeable enough about the Tim Holtz Distress Oxides for me to be able to tell you they're perfect or they're better or anything like that. I'm just not that knowledgeable about them. Okay? So the next color we're going to go in with is our Calypso Coral. And I'm just going to do the same thing. Stamp off. Start off paper. And blend. Now I tend to blend light or dark over light. So I always generally start with my lightest color. Now the reason I start with my lightest color when I'm blending, it's not that hard to understand. It's really the fact that really if you start with a darker color and you put your light over it, 9 times out of 10 you have the possibility of contaminating your brush, the light color, with the darker. So that's the only reason why I generally tend to start light to dark, so that if I do happen to go over something, I'm not going to contaminate my ink pad as well. Okay? Alrighty. Now, I don't know if this is sunset to anybody else, but this is sunset to me. Right? This is my sunsets, right? Oh, something happened there. I had a little streak going on there. Okay. Now I'm going to go with purple. Now I went with Fresh Freesia as my purple. I may add a darker purple just as a fourth, but I'm not 100% sure yet, okay? So we'll see what we need to do when we're adding that color. Something is streaking here on my brush. I'm not sure what. You see the streak? Something is going on with this brush. I'm going to change this one out. See if I get a bet. Oh yeah, much better. Much better. Okay. And what I'm going to do as well is I am going to go back for the Highland Heather as my darker color. And because that's the Fresh Freesia is lighter than the Highland Heather, I don't need to like brush change the colors, like clean the brush in between. It's purple to purple. I'm going from light to dark, so it doesn't, you don't have to clean or brush it off in between. Why does my Highland Heather not seem darker than my fresh Freesia? Why is that? Why does that not look darker than my fresh Freesia? That seems like I might need to re-ink my Highland Heather ink pad. Note to self. So now I'm going to change that out, and I'm going to go into Gorgeous Grape because I do want it to show a little bit of difference in the shades. You see the difference? Okay, and I don't really want the colors to be like so quote unquote separate. So I'm just going to take the darkest color, and I'm going to go follow along the outer edges and bring that color in just a tad. Just a tad. So that on the borders you have a little bit of that sunset just creeping right into the darkest color of the night is falling into the lightest part. So that's the general theory behind why I'm doing the darker color on the sides, okay? And then last but not least, I'm gonna go right back in with my crushed curry and blend that over the entire panel right there, okay? And you might have to go back in on this one and clean your brush. Because we just want to blend our colors out. Okay, that's it. And we've got a little bit of our sunset, don't we? So the couple of things I'm going to tell you about my work surface, right, that is going to be a problem, right? So as I move and maneuver this piece of paper when we're creating this background, notice how this is getting dark, how I'm tapping off. So you're going to have to be careful and make sure, mindful that you have ink right here that you can transfer into your panel and put that color where you're not wanting it to be. So that's the note to yourself. And as you can see, I somehow stuck my finger in something and it's right already here on my panel. So either you're going to have to make sure you clean that in between, or definitely not do a stamp off on the panel where you're actually going to be working, if that makes any sense what I just said. All right, so we are done with this first panel, and it could be just as simple as that, okay? Let me clean this off just a tad. And I keep little alcohol. Oh, I didn't realize I had that much ink on my fingers. Look at how much ink I had. And I had a lot. I did not realize I had that much ink on my fingers. And I use silicone because it's easy to clean. So definitely use a silicone mat and keep your surface clean. Okay, I'm gonna go past one more time. Okay, and then wipe this off. All right. So this is the first panel that we created, and we can leave it just like that. We could stamp a sentiment down here. We can do lots of other things with it. If we wanted to bring maybe the earthen tones up a little bit, we could ink blend some wild wheat and a little bit of pebbled path, so that you have the earth tones coming on this side to finish this panel out. And then you could, you know, stamp some trees or something else that you could do with this. So once you have a panel something like this, let me tell you what you can do with this, right? Now we're going to start with stencils on this one at least, right? So let's just find a pattern of some sort that we like. Something simple. We're not looking for anything major that will go well with that. What are we looking for here? I think we had, well, we had the leaves. Yes. Okay. So that is from the Abundant Beauty stencil pack. And you guys, all I'm going to do with this right now is I'm going to leave this right here and make sure I have whatever it is I want to be imprinted on my pattern. And I'm going to cover, give me a piece of scrap, because I don't want the bottom down here to be wet. So I'm gonna I'm just gonna cover this like so. And then a stamping mister is your friend. Okay, so the other day I created a couple of glimmer mists. This one is a rose gold. And how I did this, you guys, is really very simple. I did a little bit of shimmer eyeshadow that I got from the Dollar Tree. I did 1 part 91% alcohol, because alcohol will dry fast, and liquid hairspray. That's what's in this bottle. Okay. So I'm shaking it up so that I can blend all of my elements together. And then I'm going to mist my cardstock over the stencil. Perfect. Now, I'm also going to, for the interest of time, I'm going to go in with my heat tool. I'm going to hit it with my heat gun. And I've created, do you see what happens? Oh, it must have, do you see how the outline of the stencil is starting to come through? And it's shimmer because I used shimmer mist. So that's another option for creating your backgrounds, okay? So what I'm going to do with my next panel, I might very well use that as a background. So tonight was not intended for us to create cards. It's just for us to create and build some backgrounds, okay? So now I'm going to come in with a piece of my 6x6 designer series paper, or not designer series paper, just regular basic white cardstock, 6x6. And what I want to do with this is, what do I want to do with this? I want to build a basic, oh, let's do a little embossed resist on this one. Okay. So for our embossed resist, let's go in with, well, let's use the same, let's just use this same stencil that we just hit. Okay, let's wipe this off first. All right. I'm going to lay this right on here. Okay. And you guys, this step is fairly simple, okay? So all we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our embossing ink, okay? And this is the emboss resist technique. And all we're gonna do is we are gonna stamp. We should have used our tool to wipe it. So all we're gonna do is take our embossing ink and make sure that we apply it all over the image. Okay. Get them all in there. Unfortunately, the only way you're going to know that you have got embossing ink everywhere is when you apply your embossing powder. That's it. Alright, so I think we have enough in there. I won't know. And let's just take this off and see what we've got, okay? So from here, I don't think I got coverage everywhere, but we're just going to go with what we have, right? And I'm going to grab my white heat embossing powder. Grab a piece of cardstock. And we're just going to pour our white embossing powder right over top of it. Oops, there's a lot of stuff in here. Okay, we didn't do so bad with coverage. I'm gonna have to clean my my embossing powder out. There's a lot of stuff in there that shouldn't be in there. Okay. All right, let's set this guy aside. I might just get a new, just clean this out totally. There's a lot of junk in there. Right? So we're gonna hit this with the heat tool. And I don't know if you can see it on camera, how it's changing. That's how you know when your powder has melted. All right, I think we've got it all covered now. Let it sit for a while. And then we're going to use the emboss resist technique. We're going to keep the same colors because I love them for fall colors. So I'm going to start with my yellow. I might bring in a little bit of, how about we switch out, or maybe use in additionally, ooh, I have my copper clay and wild wheat mixed up in the case there. So we'll start with our yellow, and that is still You would say, why are you covering that up? You just did that. You'll see. And I'm trying to put my colors in at a little bit of an angle, okay? Now I think wild wheat is still in the yellow family, but I'm gonna clean my brush just a little anyway, just to make sure or reduce cross-contamination just a little bit. Oh, that's a beautiful color right there. Okay. I'm gonna go with the Calypso Coral. Oh, where's my Cajun Craze? I might bring that in too. Oh, Cajun Craze. One of my favorite colors. Okay. And I want to do my, I'm going to start with, I'm going to start with my fresh Freesia. Even though that's a little pale, I'm going to go with the fresh Freesia, right? Start my purples. But I'm going to bring in some Moody Mauve. I think that'll be, that's a perfect fall color. So I'm going to bring in that Moody Mauve. Mauve, I don't know how you say it, but that's the color I'm going to bring in. It's close to, it seems like it's similar to that, but you can see the clear difference in the purples, right? And I wanted to have just a little bit of a gradation in between the colors. And then I'm just gonna hit this with a little bit of Gorgeous Grape to finish out my purples. Oh, Mary Merlot would have been a great color, but Mary Merlot is retired. One of my faves, another one of my favorites. All right. And again, we're wanting to come right back in with our lightest color. And we're just going to hit that to try to get all the colors to blend. Now the only thing you have to consider when you're trying to blend with your lightest color is, for example, yellow and blue makes green, right? So when you're going over everything, you got to be mindful as to the impact as adding that lighter shade to another color, what that might do to that color, okay? Okay. And so now we're just going to grab a piece of paper towel, and this is the resist part, right? We're going to go right back over the embossed pieces, the white, and wipe that color right off. So the white from the embossing powder should be what is prevalent, and you can see through the ink the color that was applied over the white. Can you see how it's popping out? Now the stencil I used was not a six inch stencil, so it didn't cover. So I would definitely try to make sure that I ended up doing that. So now what I'm going to do is end up cutting this panel to a 4 by 5 1/4. Hey Sue, how you doing? I'm making panels tonight. So what I would end up doing with this beautiful emboss resist background that we just created, I would cut this down to a 4 by 5 1/4 panel. Maybe die cut a butterfly, die cut maybe a dragonfly, something like that as an accent piece, and just put a sentiment on there, and there you guys have created your own background. You've created your own background with this just by stencils and ink colors. So that's the second one that we created. Here's the first panel, and this one we just spritzed some glimmer mist over the colors. This one we did an emboss resist technique, which is great. And then the last one I'm going to share with you tonight, because I don't want to keep you too long, is, let me clean that up. And then I'm going to create some cards with these panels that we are making tonight, and I'll share with you what those look like, okay? Not going to make the cards tonight. Tonight is all about the panels. So I'm just going to clean this off just a bit. And I'm probably going to try to change up my colors just a little bit. All right, so tonight I'm going to change out my stencil as well. And I'm going to try to, oh, let's go with this one. I know it's not a Stampin' Up one, but I'm going to go with this one anyway because I like it. I think this one could be fun, don't you think? The branches, what do you think about that one? I think I might do the snowflake one. Christmas is coming after all, right? So we've got a fall panel. Now I think I'm going to do a Christmas one. So this is closer to a 6 by 6. So it'll work that way as well. Perfect. All right. So now for me wanting to achieve a snowflake or snow scene, that says to me I have to go into my blues. Okay. So let's put all these colors away. And the colors I'm gonna want to work with, definitely my Balmy blue. Definitely my Night of Navy. I'm definitely gonna need that. I think Blueberry Bushel. Oh, I know which one might be a nice one. Let me grab some Azure Afternoon. Those will be the 3 colors that I use. All right, give me 1 minute. I don't know what happened here with you guys. All right, let me just go grab my Azure Afternoon. So those are going to be the colors that I'm going to use on this wintry stencil background that we're going to create, okay? So I think my blues, these I'm going to have to clean, but let's put them out of the way for now. And I'm going to bring in, I want to work with the brushes because I want you to be able to see how those brushes work. Where are my blues? Where's my blues? So this was my blue brush right here. And I'm going to start with my Balmy blue. Now the good thing about the brushes, and I'll tell you the difference, is you see how much, I don't want to say how much pressure, but with the blending brushes like this, I don't really have to do that much. You really can use a very easy hand with the brush. And it goes on so very smooth. There's already color being laid down on here. It does, in my opinion, take a lot more ink. But it just seems to transfer the ink a little bit faster. And I'm going to use the Balmy blue, and I'm going to have Balmy blue everywhere because Balmy blue will be my lightest and my base color. I know the C of this brush, these brushes start with a C, the company name or the brand name, and I cannot remember it for the life of me. And just like that, the color's down, y'all. Very light, very faint. And then I'm going to go in with Azure Afternoon. And again, because I'm going light to darker blue, I don't really need to do a brush clean in between. That's how fast the color goes on with the brush. Okay, put that back in place. And then the last color I'm going to go in with is my Night of Navy. And I won't cover the whole panel with the Night of Navy. I just want you to be able to see that there's a little bit of a gradation in between the three colors, okay? And then what I want to do, lastly, so I'm going to go right back in with Balmy Blue and one of our blending brushes. And let me tap, tap off and then just blend them. Okay. There you go. So you can see your darker panel, your darker going into your lighter blends. So again, just trim this off into a 4 by 5.5, 4 by 5.25 panel. Add a quick sentiment, maybe a polar bear, for example, or I don't know what we can add. A polar bear would work well here. And a sentiment, and this card is done, and you created your own background that you were happy with. Okay, so I just wanted to share with you some quick tips. Next time we're going to do backgrounds with stencils, I'm gonna try to incorporate some embossing paste, because that's another way that you can add create a background that has a little bit of texture, a little bit of sheen, a little bit of color as well. And you can use that embossing paste over top of color. You can add a little bit of alcohol of the ink refill to the embossing powder to create color in that manner. Or you can paste it and then spritz another color over it to create color that way. Just so many other ways. We're going to have fun creating some additional stencil backgrounds with you, and that'll be in part 2. So for tonight, I'm going to go ahead, trim these down, create some cards for you, and I'll post them in the description box or over on a Pinterest board so you can see the cards that we created with our background creating class tonight. You guys, thanks for stopping in to visit me again. If there's any product that you see that I used for this evening that you enjoyed, please don't forget to shop on my website using the host code that you see here. And also don't forget, you guys, if you ever do need to reach out to me, I am always available. Oh, something happened here. Hold on. I am always available. And here's my information. You can email me at sweetsignatures@gmail.com. There we go. And reach out to me and ask me any questions about any of the projects that we're using, or creating, or if you want to join my Stampin' Up team or become a VIP customer of mine. As always, if you don't have a Stampin' Up demonstrator, I welcome you to join me as one of my VIP customers. If you already have a Stampin' Up demonstrator, that's okay. I just appreciate that you are watching my video this evening. On that note, you guys, thank you for joining me this evening. Have a blessed day and happy stamping. Bye-bye now.